So I would like to thank my parents.
Wow. So you'd have to show this clip to your parents.
I'm sure that that's doable. I'm sure I'll arrange somehow to have them see this, yeah.
Yeah. Is there anyone that's in your former life, maybe you had a dispute before the yoga time, and, you know, because in your workplace you had this stress. If you could deal with this person or a couple of people, whoever, if you could go back and change things, is there something that you would like to say to them?
No one springs to mind. I think just in general, you know, the older you get, the wiser you get. And I think just in general, in a lot of the situations where there was tension, I often worked in groups, right, as in dance companies and things, just to take a deep breath and maybe add a little humour to the situation. I think that could have been helpful many times, rather than everyone getting too worked up and taking themselves too seriously. So maybe a little more humour.
Do you think you can do this now more easily?
This is something I remember more often. Like, what about we just don't take this so seriously and have a laugh about it?
So this, you change your mental mind a little bit of how you deal with people in conflict.
I think so. I hope so, that I'm growing and learning and improving with all of those things.
Probably many people who are actually involved in yoga, we're taking religion into it or not into it, because a lot of times the history of yoga comes from India. So, you know, how do you explain this, or how do you keep that out of your instructions? It's a pretty sensitive, you know, area.
I suppose so. Well, I think one common definite or way of explaining that yoga is not a religion is that anyone from any religion can do yoga, and it doesn't present a conflict to their religious beliefs. So that's one common way of sort of explaining how it is that it's not actually a religion. Now, if someone chooses to be fanatical about something, you know, there's always people who are going to be fanatical about things. So they may take it on and it becomes like their religion, you know. But as such, yoga is a series of very practical methods to support you in anything that is important to you. So back in the history of, you know, India and Hinduism, etc., the Hindus were using yoga to support them with their desire to understand God and their spiritual goals. But you can do yoga just because you have a desire to be free of back pain. That's fine too. So it's not a religion.
Right. And so, and a lot of people don't want to be caught up in that too, because they want to do it more for their, I guess, their own personal inner peace type of thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, is there often an annual, you know, yoga conference, you know, worldwide, or just in Korea, or, you know, in Germany too?
It's more there's like the big Asia conference. I think that's usually in Hong Kong.
Okay.
And now we've got you know, we had the second year running the Korea Yoga Conference. And I believe Japan has a couple of conferences. So it's more regional.
Yeah. So how do you see, because you've been here a couple times in Korea, how do you think the Koreans are taking the yoga, and how, you know, has it grown since you've been here?
I'm very impressed, because I find that Korean students make progress very quickly. They learn quickly. It's a little harder to get them involved in a group discussion. They don't want to disturb the group flow, maybe. They don't want to appear that they may be questioning me or contradicting me in any way. So they're very polite. So I have a hard time drawing them into some kind of discussion or to express their own thoughts in front of the group. But on the other hand, because they're so open to just absorbing what's going on rather than sort of getting in there with their own individual kind of, this is what I'd like to say, right? The advantage is they absorb material very quickly.
Yeah. Wow. So any different from your students in Germany then, or no?
Yeah, it's a different dynamic. In a Western country, and particularly in the Germanic culture, people are more questioning. They're more doubtful. They're like, well, wait a minute, what do you mean? You're going to have to explain that to me.
Really?
Yeah, so it's not resistance, but they're not quite as open as I've experienced Korean groups. So initially it's slow going, but ultimately because of their questioning and looking at it from this way, looking at it from that way, they develop a very deep understanding of the work. It's just that it takes a little longer.
That is probably true, especially within the different cultures. So do you enjoy teaching here in Korea?
I love teaching in Korea. I really enjoy it, and it's been a great gift to me to gain a connection to the culture here, as it is a part of my family as well. So that's been just perfect. That's life has offered me that opportunity through the yoga, so through doing that which I love, and that has brought me a connection to Korea. It's been great.
Well, thank you so much. And if you can go ahead and look at our viewers one time and one last time and say goodbye to them. And any last thing you want to go ahead and add into their lives if they want to put yoga into their lives.
So to put yoga into your life, it's helpful to study a little bit of yoga. But yoga doesn't have to just be the physical forms and the asanas and what often people think are very sort of acrobatic tricks. Yoga can be very simple. And one of my favorite teachers actually says, if you can breathe, you can do yoga.
Wow. And please say goodbye to them.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much once again for coming on the show. And I know your schedule is very tight. So if we can wave everyone goodbye together over there.
Bye.
Bye-bye. You know, I heard Barbara say in the interview, I'm not sure if it's this one or the one before, but she said, we shouldn't really speak right away and when you're angry. So you know the expression, hold one's tongue. That's right. So this is when you should wait a little bit. Especially when you're really angry, we should count to 10 before speaking. But if you're really, really angry, then count to 100 before speaking. Thinking positive. Do you remember that movie, Kung Fu Panda? That's right. And when finding that inner peace, being able to exert that and speaking positively to everyone. So let's think of that and stay positive with everyone. We'll see you. Bye-bye.